What is up, everybody? Happy Friday. So good to see you, beautiful people. You know what time it is. We're going to be talking about the Spotify logo redesign. And some of you guys are wondering, why would they touch the Spotify logo? There's nothing wrong with it. Or is there? Now, Everton has bravely stepped up to take on this monumental challenge here. So let's get into it. You know what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the logos you love and sometimes the logos that you love to hate. And this may not be one that you love to hate. So we're going to get into the redesign. And today, after a little bit of delay, is joining me once again is Everton Gargioni. And you guys can follow him on Instagram at Everton Gargioni. He's from Brazil, and at the bottom there, you can go to his website. If you like his work, if you like his thinking, his style, his aesthetic, and generally his tattoos, and you think he's a cool guy, go check him out on the website. It's evertongargioni.com.br. Go check him out. And why? Because this is the way this is his work. This is the body of his work, and it's really good. He actually helped me design something that I'm going to share with you at a different point in time. But we're here not to talk about him or me. We're here to talk about this. We're going to redesign this Spotify logo to something else. And I don't know, maybe I was talking to my friend Brian Collins yesterday, and he's asking, why, Everton? Why would you do this? So here we go. I'm going to cut to this other screen here. I went to the Collins site, and you guys know Collins. They do amazing, beautiful work for really ginormous brands like Spotify, like Twitch, and so many others, Equinox Hotels. Okay? And we step into this, we're like, oh, this is dangerous territory, man, because this is some beautiful work, beautiful color palettes, just this complete identity system that he's developed. So these are big shoes to fill. Now, some of you are going to instantly hate what it is we're going to do. So I want to set the tone and intention for what we're trying to do today. What we want to do, you guys, and pay attention to this, is to explore what else it could be. This is the alternate dimension, the multiple Earths, if you will, from the DC and the Marvel universe. So just chill out, relax. Let's look at what we can do with this and see where else we can take it. That way we know if we love the original or if we love the new logo. Okay, so without further ado, Everton, I'm going to stop sharing so you can share what you're doing. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, how are you, Chris? How are everybody? Everyone okay?
Nervous energy here, my friend. A little bit of nervousness here. Yes?
Yeah, for sure. And you have to show the Brian Collins photo at the intro.
Okay.
But it's all good.
All right, jump in. Let's get to it. And I'll be monitoring your comments, guys. If you leave your thoughtful comments and questions, thoughtful is the key word here, I will be sure to try to answer them during the show. All right, let's get to it.
Yeah, can you... Screen is shared already?
Not yet. Go for it.
Not yet? Okay.
Are you sharing it?
Share it now. Let's go.
He's trying to build the suspense.
Yes, it's very suspenseful.
And no, I'm not. Hey, yo, take it easy, guys. It's just an exercise here.
Just logos, guys. Just logos. Nobody was hurt. No kittens were killed. No puppies were...
Yeah, it's just the largest music streaming. but whatever. So a little bit of history first. Let's start slowly here. Spotify was founded in 2006. As I said, is the world's largest music streaming service today. They offer access on demand to over 50 million songs from, the major labels: Sony, EMI, Warner, Universal. But the app was launched in 2008, and from there to now, they have 286 monthly active users. Man, wow!
I'm one of them.
Yeah, I'm one of them too. I'm one of them too. So, let's take it from there. This is what the original from 2008. And one thing we can be glad here is that when we are starting, that's something that we always can improve later. So I don't know much of you guys, but this for me, it's so 2008, like, there's strokes, and it was the first time that the three stripes, the Wi-Fi signal, the streaming signal was presented and that's a huge part of the logo till now.
Yeah, the original is not a good logo.
So the guy who created that, it was Christian Wilson. I believe is from Sweden, where the company was born. And that sound wave, that streaming, it kind of lead us in association of the company does with technology and music connection. So it was the first one. Very interesting, but very playful too. A lot of people complaining about this green. Nowadays, it's just more bright, right? More
Yep.
joyful, more young, and for a company like that, the screen was off, so they fixed it later. The next one was an update in 2013. The same guy, Christian, and this other one, Andreas Holmstrom, they got rid of the jumping no. They changed the word mark. And for me, it's just a right move in the right direction to be the massive company that they are, right? This one is too playful, was the beginning, right?
Yeah.
This one's a little better. Although for me, answering the question why changing this and give it a try, yeah, I mean, it always bugged me the way that the Wi-Fi is aligned in the circle. It's more to the left side. It's optically aligned, but at the same time, technically, for my taste, like I just want things to be more attached to a point, to that, and that's why Spotify, it's Gotham, the word mark. Nothing wrong with that. It's okay. And from this point, they were like huge already. And for those who might wondering, oh, did you fix it? Did you give it a try to fix the Wi-Fi symbol? So I did, and that's the result. I place some grids here, some lines to understand, to help me understand where is it on the circle, and it's rotated, it's out of centered, and I don't know. I tried to do my own version of that just to get my conscious like clear,
Redrawing it, you mean?
Yeah, redrawing it just and kind of to understand what am I facing, like the monster I'm fighting. So just to be friends with it. So I tried a version less rounded, because for me that thing here is too rounded. And it's just different from the word mark, but it's okay. So I went and did this, fix the thing. I don't know what you guys think on the chat. It's
Don't worry, they're supporting you. Don't worry.
Yeah, nice.
It's like chill.
Yeah.
Everybody. All right.
So okay, so I couldn't come here and do just this to this logo, right? It's just it might be an update for them, but the thing is that the creators, they want it to be something very, very fun, very personal. And I read an interview from them. They're talking about something that they tried go to ratio and try grid to align the thing, and it's just not work for them, for their vision. So everyone has one, right? Yeah. So this one here, at this point, they were pretty solid in advertising, and they have some consistency through the brand. All black, all green, bold typography, and it's all there. So they did an amazing job here, with the consistency and all of that. But it was in a point that it was stuck in like a provider of streaming service only, and Spotify was growing to be bigger than that. So I mean, I assume, right? I didn't talk to anyone there, but I assume went to do a step further in the visuals and just try to be less like a service only and to be like a culture, like people having experiences with the brand and all of that. So then Collins happened, and from my opinion, it was a game changer, right? They did an amazing job. And for me to please a huge number of people, imagine millions and millions of users, and have that power to please the majority is something that you should take your hat off to that. And they did an amazing job. So I didn't chill out, guys. I didn't want to mess with Collins and the big ones. I'm not crazy like that. But I did though explore a little further of my mark that I did and try to see if I could match the style and if that could be something that works as well. So Collins said this, and I quote, "Spotify confronted the same realization every fast-growing tech company does. A great product wins early adopters, but a great brand wins the mainstream." And that's a great thing, a great thought. So, and they're big players, right? They're for the masses, and that's amazing. But you have to. Never mind. I was saying. That's ballsy, something like that, So the solution they find it's when the solution they find to, shift the perception of Spotify was just a tech company, that they're just only providing streaming services and all this stuff. So they went through that motive. When an individual, and I quote again from their site, when an individual makes a personal connection with a song, their reaction is to cry, cheer, scream, sing, jump, whatever, get chills, or as they phrase it, burst with emotion. So that burst word is just the motive that they could graphically translate. And that's a great move. We all are familiar with the dual tone photography, which was a great move, a great solution to a big problem. Spotify was getting photos from every artist, and you can imagine different angles, different visions, different captures, lighting, and all this stuff. And so the way that they find to maintain a certain of identity was to do with the dual tone, and it was a success, right? A huge success.
Yes, it was.
So yeah, so this is Collins, their work, and we can see the difference here from the previous black and green from 2013. Now they merged with the culture, with the millennials, and all of that. When you saw something like that, bold, brave, young, joyful, it translates well with that phrase, the burst of emotion, which for me music is. I can't think a day that I'm not with my Spotify on. So this is a great thing, a great move from Collins, and hats off to them. So what I tried to do, and hold on guys, I will show up a logo process right? And I feel, but I try to kind of convey that idea that the Spotify is a tech company, they are rooted on this, but at the same time, I wanted to explore what Collins did and to merge with their visual identity. I make myself clear right now, so
Yeah,
everyone's following up. So good.
Yep.
So yeah, I was exploring things like connection. I was exploring things like tech vibe. Like I wanted to do something that has layers, depth. Spotify is just you can scroll and watch your favorite artists, and you are always passing, and there's always someone on the line. And I was making that analogy, I would say. And so I went there and tried to do something that just for fun or for exercise or for us to discuss. I'm not saying that I would present this to Spotify or, hey, my logo is just better. I made something amazing. And, but yeah, I did a bunch of things, and I thought about something that could be really interesting. And it's a marketing thing right now. So I was thinking about if the chat or the audience could go to my Instagram and maybe follow me there, I can do some stories revealing the other chances that I took, and create like a list of friends there, just for the new ones that are coming. That would be something nice too. So I did that grid system here. I was convinced that this mark could be a good outcome. So I was sure that I'm showing the logo process here. It's not running.
Nope. Looks like it's hung up on something. Is it doing it now?
Can I interrupt the share and share again?
Yeah.
Mark?
Please.
Yeah.
You might be sharing a different window. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
I hang tight, guys. We're gonna get this up in 1 second. I'm gonna go and use this time to read a few comments while you test that out. Okay. There's a lot of people who are saying, like, hang tight, everybody. It's important to kind of hear the rationale and the research, and this is the important part of the logo design creation process, and not just making shapes on a grid. Okay, it looks like we're up and running now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay, let's go.
Real quick.
Is it doing something?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's not doing anything.
It's not doing nothing?
It looks like it's still frozen.
Yeah. Frozen.
Why?
Timeline is moving, but we're not seeing anything happen on the screen. You guys, the Futur team, you have the video, right?
Yeah, I'm going to pull it up real quick.
Pull it up as a backup here while we're doing this. I wonder what's going on here. It was working before you shared it, I think, because I saw it move. Maybe, did you quit QuickTime? Maybe just quit and reopen it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let me see if I can read some of the comments here. People are saying already they see the third concept, the piano. That's kind of cool. People are saying they see the Death Star. I guess they're happy to see the Death Star, right?
Yeah, it's part of the pop culture too, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that it's the target.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Jonah, I could give it a shot. Jonah, I have it loaded.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, so Mark, you share it, and then Everton, you could just talk about it.
Okay.
Is there any sound on the file? It's just video, right?
No. It's just no sound.
Okay, here we go. So if you need me to pause, let me know. I'm gonna play it.
No, it's just a really quick video. By that time, I already know what should I do. So this part is just, and it's important for me to build something and know how to rebuild it later. Sometimes you're in a hurry, you're doing things, you're exploring shapes, you're whatever, and all of a sudden you don't remember the steps that you take to build that. And so for me, it's important to have awareness from the by step that I did to achieve the result. So I started dividing a square in third parts, and everything counts, man. Like I divided that in 3, and then I can use this. I can divide the every layout and place some random elements to do the exactly same idea from the logo, and that keep consistency with everything that is made. That makes sense?
Yes.
So I divided in third part, and then I divided that first column, the bold stripes, in 6, and then I found the gaps that I wanted to use, placed there, divided by 3 right now.
Hey, Everton, how would you describe what this symbol means? I think the nerd in me is thinking it's like a computer algorithm design or something.
Yeah, it's just something that I'm usually working with keywords. So I was thinking about data. I was thinking about, plugs and things related to music as well. I was thinking about those things, and I think unconsciously those things ended up emerged, right? Eventually, I guess. But the thing with the piano or the acoustic guitar or the strings was not on purpose. I was more thinking about something technological, even if it's less digital, that could remind something like from the 70s, like a vintage thing, because I drink a lot from that phase of design. So here's a quick GIF that I did, just what thing I did with the symbol and the word mark. The word mark, I just slightly modify it. The Spotify original, they rounded the corners, and in my version that was off. So I have some really sharpy edges, and so I removed that, and the dot of the I maintained that square also.
Mm-hmm.
I can stop the video, and I move to the brand identity right now. So the way that I translate that into a visual language, kind of the Collins did, but I didn't want to copy their style, except I do. Except I did the color palette. I didn't mess with that, so I have to, play around with it, see what people think, and let's have a good Friday. I will share my screen. Yeah, I want to share my screen again. Desktop, share. All right, so it's on. Cool. So from there, I was thinking about something really that could be dissect into parts. We can play around with those stripes. Is this something that this concept in yellow that I like, that is further, and it's proximity and, whatever. I don't know how to say that in English, but you have that kind of, in and out kind of thing. Instantly, I think about some animation, stripes coming and going, and those movement, which millennials are, they're ready to go. They wake up noon, but they're ready to go for the rest of the day, right? Kind of that. So, and playing around with some photography, place inside, behind, and in front of, kind of that thing. I didn't want to mess with the green and black thing here, just not to completely drive people a wrong idea. It's still Spotify, but it's different, but it's the same, Yeah. So here with the color palette that Collins did, which it has no mistake, man. You can throw whatever color they choose there, it's gonna look good. So I did that with the Spotify new kind of version. 600 people live. Wow.
Let's focus here. Let's keep going.
Yeah. So
you made some new friends, and you may have lost a few, but who knows?
Yeah. Well, that's part of the game. It is. Yeah. So here I was exploring that idea. This part here on the green is I divided in 3 parts. There's the logo here on the middle, on the left. So we can make those decisions based on, the process, the whole process. And we can share that into visual language too. Try to do the same font that they use, which is circular, and play some color background, really modern kind of design. And one thing that I forgot to mention, I guess, is that their target with Instagram and all of that new social kind of thing is just too visual, right? It's visual. And so you have to look good on the screen. And so here, a couple of things that I did, trying to explore this concept of growth, those things that we were passing artists, there's one in behind, and then it's the upfront right now, the hot spot of the moment, whatever. And then next month, it's so quickly. So it has that dynamic things moving around, even though I didn't did any animation because I'm just an illustrator guy. So black and green for the nostalgic people that might, oh, why did you change that? Where's green? Where's black? So, damn, I just noticed the word mark here is the wrong one. Sorry, the math guys.
Don't worry.
It's supposed to be the
square one.
Yeah, the square one. Damn, this here too, man. But here's the after and before thing. I just had to change that word mark. Mm-hmm. It's this one here. It should be there. And that's it.
Okay, should we talk about it then? Or?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. now the audience is going to come to life in a second here. So,
they're already alive.
Yeah, it's like first I have to say this, like, whoa. All right. Hopefully Jonah got that cut. All right. I'm introducing side graphics here, so the audience is just wide range of reactions from I don't like it, I don't get it, or it's growing on me and I like it. But there's a lot of questions about the connections of the things that people associate with the symbol itself. People are saying it feels electronic, digital, fingers laced together. It feels it's reminiscent of an old AT&T logo. Some people are saying it's very digital in terms of its vibe. So there's a lot of questions going on here. Okay. Now, I'm not going to weigh in my opinion just yet. I'm going to wait.
I think that, I mean, I get it, all of that. I have that same thinking. It's just a process. It's not that it should stop there. I'm not finished with it. Probably, if I would, if it was a real thing, I would spend a whole lot of, checking those alert signs,
Yeah.
and trying to do, so I have this, let's explore this a little further. So
Yeah.
let's get back, and it's a process. And for me, it's like, this is the fun of it, and it's all right for you to not be able to get at first time, or you just don't give up, leave it to rest a little bit, and then back to it. Share with friends. I did that with some of mine, and they're probably them that's saying that on chat. So because I heard it before.
Let me just jump in here. I know when you work, you do a lot of exploration.
Yeah.
This logo process, I saw the research, the thinking, and then I just saw the finished thing. Do you happen to have all the different symbols you've explored handy that we can look at, or no?
Yeah.
Can I see them, please?
Okay.
Let's do that. Because I know oftentimes we can react to the finished product, but I think what's a bigger learning opportunity is to see all the things he explored. Sometimes, and it's often the case, when I look at designers' work, when they breadcrumb all the explorations, I go back and say, that version is really interesting. And why am I even bringing this up? Because when you're working on the project, you lose objectivity. You just don't know anymore. You just keep doing it, and then eventually time's up, it's due, and that's what you created. So sometimes it helps if we're actually working in a design studio with many people to kind of put up against the wall and say, everybody, what's your take? What's your opinion? And then from that reaction and that brainstorming process, something new, something that's collaborative that can be built up from a variety of points of view. And so this is kind of an interesting moment for us to kind of see what else you've done and allow me to kind of just comment on it along with our audience that are tuning in, all 600 people, 600 plus. So let's take a look at it.
600 friends.
Yeah, 600 friends. 600 of your friends are tuned in today. So
Yeah, just a minute.
Okay. You having some computer issues?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
My RAM.
if you resell computers, Everton could use a new computer. Let us know in the chat if you would like to send a computer to him, and we'll be sure to thank you for it. He's running on an iMac that's circa 2015, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, it's taken a long time to open a file. This must be a massive file.
A lot of explorations.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if we have a comment or a question that we can address. Mark, you see anything? I know there's a lot of opinions going on, but I didn't see anything with a question mark to it.
Not a whole lot of questions, but some people are just wondering when is Spotify going to implement this? Again, if this is your first time tuning in to these logo redos, these are educational projects. So we're just trying to show you the process and go through the mindset of the designer as they're working through these decisions.
Hey, you have at least one friend from India. A budding learner is saying, I'm one friend from India. And people are encouraging others to go check out his work on Instagram, which is at Everton Gargioni. You guys go check it out.
Nice.
You can see he does some beautiful work. We don't
Hi,
just
friend.
we don't just grab randos off the street and say, yo, come on our show and design a logo with us. Legit people. That's who we want on our show. All right.
Just a heads up, if you guys are interested in participating, we're going to send out a link so you guys can submit to be a potential designer on the show. So look out for that. We'll post it on Instagram and our other social media.
Yeah, I've did a post on this on Twitter and Facebook, but not a ton of people responded. So you see, it's like it's easy. It's brave of you to talk from the back gallery or the back, way in the back. All you people are super brave, but come on the show, join us, and show us what you can do. Different story. So I applaud, no matter if I like it or if I dislike it, everybody that steps up who puts himself in the spotlight to be judged and critiqued by thousands of anonymous people and 600 friends. Everton, is it up yet, or do we give up on this?
No, it's up. But
Share it. Let's do it.
I'm trying to get back to Zoom to share my screen.
Looks like he's frozen.
Is he frozen? Did we lose him?
Are you still there, Everton?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening.
Your video's frozen.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, my.
Okay, there we go. You're back.
All right.
Okay. So here, these are a couple of explorations I did.
Still not up yet. Give us a sec. There we go.
There it is. All right. Woo.
All right.
Okay, everybody. Now, I just want to say this because I think this person is going to keep typing this in. Madden wants me to explain the Future Academy logo process, and he's saying, please, with a lot of Z's in it. We'll deal with that later, okay? We'll deal with it. So let's get back into this thing. So what are we looking at here?
Yes, we're looking at some explorations I did. I tried at first to do something because of the simplicity of the brand equity and all of that with the stripes, but I ended up like losing the youth, losing none of it that people love, I guess. And it's just too right. I did some ass explorations here and there, trying to again do that that duplicating things, here's the same thing with the pattern, like some vinyl kind of thing, so the music was in there too. Here's a other version of the logo I presented with less stripes on it. Thinking about connection with people, I drew this locker here too. Just I separate this, but the file is even more bigger than it is. But this ones I concentrate and I send to Mark for an update. Mm-hmm. So the rest of it is just nothing really to
okay. So let's talk about this a little bit then. Okay, so I happened to be in the room when Brian Collins was sharing the story of Spotify and how they arrived at what they did. Now you notice a couple of things from the logo that was created originally to the reduced circle. Collins didn't do that much to the mark when they took on the rebranding project. What they did was they created a whole ecosystem for this to live in, the color palettes, and maybe what I need to do is share that screen. So give me 1 second.
Should I stop mine?
Yeah, stop yours.
Okay.
You don't have to, but I need to just switch my monitor settings here.
All right.
Yeah.
I kind of did.
Mark, can you do the talking here so I can work on this?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to address something that came up here in the chat. So somebody was asking, let's see, before we move from the concept process to the development process, should we get a second, third, fourth opinion, or should we just trust our gut and move forward? I just want to know, what was your kind of approach to this? Everything?
Yeah, my approach is I gotta trust what I believe, but I do take others' opinions seriously and consider them, But at the end of the day, man, no one's is gonna support you, like you gotta step from it, you gotta do it your best and believe on it, and even if it is not your best, be humble to, it's not my best. Maybe, 2 years from now, I'll take it over again. And that's okay. It's a process. It's a learning process. But trust your gut always.
Yeah, and I think it speaks to the importance of what I hear, Chris talk about a lot when working with your clients, and making sure that you're checking in with them frequently rather than just having the big reveal at the end where they're surprised and you don't know if they're going to like it or not. So I think
Sure.
it's very important.
Yeah, so there's a shift here in my thinking on this, because when I was in school, we weren't really taught how to work with clients. We're just taught to be great form makers, to try to communicate a concept, but it was missing a vital component. The vital component is there's somebody else who has to live with this system that you've built. And I hate to say this, but they have as much say, if not more say, than you, even though they hired you. And so we have to get off our pedestal and think that they came to me, the design god, and this is what I'm going to give them, and they should be so lucky. I think there was an era when that happened with people like Saul Bass and Paul Rand, but that's many decades ago. We don't live in that space anymore. We want to be collaborative, because it's like somebody designing furniture for you, and then they drop it off and you get to live with it, and they walk away and they sell another piece of furniture to somebody else. And so you want to make sure it fits you, it feels right, and it's usable. So I'm going to switch over to my monitor here. I'm going to show you the Spotify system. And I think we have to think about this in a system. So the original logo that Brian Collins and his team did, it refined some things and it kept some of the character. And in that presentation in which he was talking to us, sharing the story, he said that the key insight was that these technologists were music lovers first, and they came up with really smart technology on how to share their passion and love for music, so that one song would lead you to another song, and it was kind of figuring you out. And so I think it's important to keep some of that. So the original logo feels like sound waves, like a volume or a speaker, and it's coming out, and there's energy to it, and it expands, it gets bigger, and it's pretty cool. I didn't see it so much as a Wi-Fi signal, but also because it's a streaming service, there's a second layered meaning in there. But it's round, it's fun, it's friendly, and I think from a business point of view, we don't want to focus on the technology. We want to focus on the benefits of it. And the genius comes in taking the visual language, which all of us could sit there and say, I could have done that. Yeah, but you didn't, and you didn't do it for a company of this size. And this way to make everything cohesive, these artists, by treating everything in a duotone fashion with the colors that they have, they unify everything. And it basically, you can take any asset, do that. And this shows you the strength of the system. And Spotify, more than anything else, from a design point of view, is about a system. So having these dynamic lines, it can feel like lightning or fire or a spark, a burst of energy. It has a very lyrical quality to it. It explodes with energy, and that's really good. These dots create depth. There's a lot of movement and dynamism to it, so it's really nice, that image with Pharrell. And then, again, the duotone, it's working. You can see it. And they're just showing you so many different ways of integrating typography and the logo. So in an instance like this, where your logo is very simple and you haven't done a whole lot of tweaking to it, from a client point of view, it's important for you to present the system, the ecosystem, and then they start to fall in love with it. So at the beginning, when you see a mark, and even with Everton's mark, whether you like it or hate it, your first reaction is it's new, it's different, I don't like it. Over time, through repeated exposure, you may learn to love it, or you may not, and that's okay. And Michael Beirut, we're going to talk about this every single time, he says people often mistake and they think that it's a diving competition. The logo comes in and we judge it on the splash that it makes on the initial dive. He's like, it's not like that. It's more like a swimming race, if anything else. It's a marathon. And over time, the feelings that we have about the product, the service, the people, the culture, the company become associated with this abstract symbol. So if they do a bad job, it doesn't really matter how good this little mark is, so that we learn to love it over time. But we want to make sure that the mark is on strategy. Now you can see that those few elements, the kind of jagged mountain peaks or these sparks or abstract representation of fire are used. The different scaled dots move. So there's something really cool there. And now they're introducing patterns into the background with this more organic shape. Also very cool. And then I think this is the last image here. No, there's still a couple more. So it's a system. And so think about an identity design as a system design. And what really got me excited about what Everton was doing is that when he started to use the shapes, these piano keys or these chipboard kinds of shapes, when you use them as windows into the images, it started to come alive. And I saw that you guys were commenting on that. When you started to see that, you were like, oh, that's interesting. I kind of like that now. So that's just like, if I can give you one tip, all you aspiring logo identity designers, branders out there, think of the mark as just one small part of a larger ecosystem, and you kind of have to see in its totality to see how they work with each other, how they complement one another, and then you start to get a feel for it, okay? So I'm going to go back to my deck here because I want to ask you guys in the comments, and I think I know what you're going to say, but let's see what happens here. Sharing the screen. Brace for it. Brace for impact. Position. Here it is. There's the original on the left and the revised version on the right. What do you guys think? Do you prefer the original or the revised? That's all we want to know. A or B? Collins or Everton?
Man, that's unfair. That's totally unfair, man.
I'm just presenting it the way it is, okay? There it is. All right. So
all right,
I'm going to stop the share. Guys, go ahead and I'll give you a second to comment, and we'll see what they're saying. And we could read what 600 friends are about to say on the internet. Here
we should bring Collins on.
Wait, hold on. He's calling me right now.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, original A, Collins A, or B, Everton, or revised. That's it. Original or revised, okay? And I think here, Everton, I know that I've seen the body of your work. It has a very retro feel to it, and I think that's one of your strengths. It has a 70s, 80s vibe to it, and I think that's really cool. And I would encourage you to continue to develop that vibe and that aesthetic. Oh, here the votes come in. It's Little Bananas.
Yeah.
It's a song for ABBA. ABBA. Yeah. So, okay. Before we wrap up the show, I want to say a couple of things as you guys are weighing in. First, make sure you guys follow Everton. I'll show his information in a second here, and you guys can check him out. And the other thing I want to say is this. In the next episodes of Logo Redesign, when you choose a logo to redo, pick something that you think is universally hated. Now, Everton decided for his first mountain to climb, he's going to go straight for Mount Everest. He wasn't beating around the bush. There was no learning peak. And so we encourage people to do that because you have to risk a lot if you want to win big. It's just the way it goes. So for me, I think his latest mark, although I appreciate the exploration, it feels a little off. It feels almost too old. It feels a little too stiff and a little too digital for my taste, but I do appreciate 100%. I think he did a wonderful job in exploring this, and I think if he had spent a little bit more time integrating all the elements and the shapes into things, I think more of you would be inclined to give it a shot, okay, or give it a chance. And that's all I got to say about that.
Nice.
Some people
cool, Chris.
Yeah, go ahead. Everton, go ahead.
No, I just want to thank you for the words. And I agree with you, man. And there's a quote here that I write on my notebook here. Take the risk or lose the chance.
Oh, I love that.
It's all about that, right?
Yeah, take the risk or lose the chance.
Yeah.
Took the risk and he didn't lose the chance. So I love that. But I'm gonna advise everybody, pick a logo that you just think is butt. Don't pick a logo that is from a world-renowned, much beloved firm. Just stay away from those ones, okay? Go with a junky firm you never heard of, somebody's uncle's, cousin's, brother's, neighbor designed. Go with those logos. And I hope you enjoyed this series, guys. Don't forget to give it a like, comment, and subscribe. Our guest today has been Everton Gargioni. I'm sure I'm not saying his name right, but go follow him today. Go check out his work, and you'll see like the amazing work that he does at Everton Gargioni on Instagram, and check out his website. And on behalf of the entire team, you guys, I hope you have a great Friday and a weekend, and I'll see you guys next week with whatever program we have. So there's the graphic. Jonah's going to play the music. Boom. Don't forget to hit that bell for notifications. And thank you all for being part of the 1 billion mission to teach people how to make a living doing what they love. That's it for us. And if you feel so inclined, drop us a little something. I'm at the Chris Doe, and that's it for me.